James, what is self-realization? How do you discover your hidden talents and your true voice? What is the difference between a transient desire and a true desire?
Desires are actually the voice of your greatest self coming and saying, this is something to be interested in. Actually, the root of desire in Latin is from the Father, or from the Creator, from our greatest selves. So desire is actually a path that leads us to ourselves. So you follow desires. You try some desires and they lead to places that are enjoyable. You try other desires and they hit a dead end. And this is the process of learning about yourself. The desires that last, the desires that you really go into the center of, really pursue, really see how they are involved with yourself deeply. Those are the desires that lead you to your deepest self. And ultimately, desire leads you straight to the core. That is the creator of yourself, the creator of everything, and the manifester of your own self-awareness. So trust your desires. Don't hurt yourself and others while you pursue your desires, and go deeply, deeply in touch with where they lead you. Everything you do will bring you self-awareness. All self-awareness is of the self. Whether you think it's big or small, it's all valuable information. Now the problem with desires is sometimes they can be confusing, because it seems like we desire things that aren't good for us. But that is also a good lesson. Then we know that those desires are not necessarily the best for our greatest selves, our most integrated self. So as you follow these desires, you're trying to discover what you are, because each desire is a voice, a part of yourself saying, examine me, see how I fit into the whole. So every desire is rooted in some aspect of your psyche, some multidimensional nature. And each voice is actually from a little dimension trying to add to the whole. So you can discover what you really are. Now, part of the problem in discovering what we are is we always look into what we already know to discover it. So we're always looking into parts of the mind that we've already experienced, that we usually like and enjoy and feel expansive and very beautiful and very visionary, and say, that must be my true self. But the problem with this is you've already experienced this. And so once you experience it, it's already happened in the past, and the repetition of it isn't complete and full and true, because it's already happened. And so you think in your mind, I've experienced that before, I like it, it was expansive, it was brilliant, it was perfect, I want that again. But your true self in every moment always appears a little different in manifestation. That's why we can't go and look at all these traditions and listen to all these yogis, saints, and sages and say, I've experienced this, this is the true self. Because yes, that was true for them at that time, but that time is not this time, and it is not you right here opening to the now of what you really are. So what happens is you follow all these desires into all these parts of yourself, which we usually call the mind or the body mind or the psyche or the whole being, and eventually they all lead to dead ends, because they are all small voices happening in time and space. But when you discover really what you are, there's no doubt, because it's been so simply present, it's been right behind every single desire, every single thing you think you've ever been. The true self is right there, radiating through it. as you right now, and always manifesting a little different in experience, but always the same radiance of being.